Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at Axios, one of the most popular HTTP client libraries in the JavaScript ecosystem. Axios is a promise-based HTTP client that works both in the browser and in Node.js. It allows us to send requests in a very clean and developer-friendly way. But wait a second, don't we already have the built-in Fetch API for that? Why do we even need Axios? Well, you see, the Fetch API wasn't always available, especially not in Node.js. For a long time, developers relied on libraries like Axios to make HTTP requests across different environments. Even today, while Fetch API is now available in modern browsers and Node.js, Axios is still incredibly popular, with tens of millions of downloads every week on NPM. That's because Axios offers extra features on top of what Fetch gives you. Features like automatic JSON handling, built-in timeouts, interceptors, request cancellation, etc. And while modern Fetch API has managed to catch up and now supports some of the feature, like request cancellation and timeouts, Axios still provides a more convenient syntax. So while you can just use Fetch API, Axios remains a very practical tool, especially for larger projects. So without further ado, let's dive in. To get started with Axios, we need to install it. You can do it in different ways, using package manager like npm or yarn, or by simply including it via a CDN in a script tag inside your HTML. For this tutorial, to keep things simple, we'll use the CDN approach so you can try it out right away without any setup. Okay, so let's start with the most common example, get request. Here we call axios.get and pass in the URL of the resource we want to retrieve. In our case, I'm using a test API. Axios returns a promise, so we attach .then, which handles received data. And of course, if something goes wrong, we have the catch block, which will log the error. And notice one thing, unlike in Fetch API, we don't need to call .json. The response data is available directly under the data property. Axios automatically parses the JSON for us, so the code is more concise. One more thing, you'll often see Axios examples written with then and catch. That works perfectly fine, but nowadays most developers prefer using async await. So we can rewrite our example to use the modern syntax. Okay, so let's also try sending a post request, for example, creating a new user. As you can see, the second argument to post method is the data we want to send. Axios automatically converts it to JSON and sets the right headers. With Fetch, you'd need to manually set headers and use json.stringify. Now, Axios isn't just about sending simple get and post requests. Let me quickly show you some of its most useful additional features. Global defaults. They allow you to specify config defaults that will be applied to every request. For example, we can set a base URL and headers once instead of repeating them every request. Interceptors. They execute the provided code before a request is sent or before a response is handled. Great for logging, adding tokens, or error handling. For example, here we can print this message into the console before sending the request, and as you can see, the message is indeed logged. Timeout. Timeouts are extremely easy in Axios. All you need to do is provide the value. For example, in our case, if no response is returned within 5 seconds, an error will be thrown. Error handling. One of the biggest advantages of Axios is how it handles errors. With Fetch, the promise only rejects if there's a network error, meaning that even 404 or 500 status code would still count as a successful response, unless you check response.ok manually. Axios, on the other hand, automatically rejects for any non-200 status codes, which makes error handling much cleaner. With that being said, I think we have covered the most important aspects of Axios. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, and of course subscribe for more. Bye.